Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Motorsports Magazine 2009. I'm Rick Knowles, joined by Rob Knowles. We are at the Craig Memorial Civic Center in Plattsburgh for part one of our 2009 Airborne Preview Show. Coming up on tonight's show, we'll have some racing action from the 2008 season at the Airborne Speedway, some driver interviews, and the premiere of Crowbar's Corner. We'll tell you more about that a little bit later on. But Rob, down here at the Crate Center, a lot of beautiful looking cars ready to start this 2009 racing season.
Oh, it always puts a little excitement, Rick, gets people thinking about auto racing again. The season at this point as we film this is still more than a month away, actually about, 6 weeks away to be exact. So there's still some time, some cars still being prepared for the racetrack, but we hear a lot of good things about Airborne again for 2009, some more renovations going on at the track. That's been a continuing theme, changes to the track itself. I'm sure we'll get into that in just a second. And the car counts, again, appear to be pretty good. So it looks like 2009, in spite of some of the tough economic times that we're experiencing across the country, 2009 auto racing at Airborne Speedway appears to be a pretty exciting time.
In the first part of the 2009 preview show, we'll be taking a look at the new mini-modified division. They raced as the Warriors last year at Airborne, the Bombers, as well as the Renegades. We'll show you one main event from each of those divisions from 2008. As well as talk to some of the drivers in that division. And changes have been made over the winter at Airborne Speedway, Rob. There's a new fence going up, which is much taller. They're getting ready to work on the banking coming out of turns 3 and 4. That'll be much higher. They're going to have to raise the height of the front stretch wall because of the banking. They've ripped off the top half of the tower. It's not going to look the same when you hit the track in 2009.
Well, think about over the last couple of years how things have changed at the Speedway with the renovations, all a part of the plan that the current ownership group has put together. And as you mentioned, I think more than anything else what the drivers are excited about, Rick, some of the changes that are being made to the racetrack itself. They're trying to put in progressive banking through the turns that should add for some much improved 2, maybe even 3 wide racing around the track. And we've seen that in some of the divisions in the past. But I think a division that especially will benefit from those types of changes might be that sportsman division, where it's been difficult at times for cars to get on the outside and make a pass. But with that type of banking, and I know Mike Parati's done a lot of work going to visit other tracks. They've consulted with people that have put in that type of progressive banking at speedways across the country. And I think that division especially will benefit from the changes that are being made to the track itself.
All right, without further ado, let's kick off the 2009 Airborne Preview Show Part 1. With a new guy on the block here at Motorsports Magazine. Joining us on the program this year is Rob Lowell, known online as the Crowbar. He's been a 20-year member of the Todd Stone racing team, preparing race cars for the Middlebury, Vermont driver, both on asphalt and dirt. So let's right now go to Crowbar's Corner with George Foley.
Hi, I'm Rob Lowell. Welcome to Crowbar's Corner. I've been involved in racing for about 20 years now. The last 15, I've been with Gardner Todd Stone. This year, through my work with Outside Groove, being on the board, I was asked to do this segment. We're going to be racing Airborne, weekly with Gardner, a couple times a month with Todd. I figured I'd give it a shot. This week we have George Foley as our guest. George, good to see you again.
You too.
Now, I got to ask you a question. I was told that you're the Mark Martin of Airborne Speedway. You announced your retirement in the last season, and now you're back. Now, was that to sell T-shirts and souvenirs, or
no?
Was it planned?
We don't get that side of the fence.
No.
I think if you go back and watch your video, like I did last week, you'll see that I didn't actually say I was guaranteed to retire. I said I didn't want to buy a motor.
Gotcha. So you got a motor. This is your car for this year.
I got a good motor. Yep.
Want to tell us a little bit about your car?
Same car, new body, same sponsors. Wes Moody's got a motor in it, and it's a real good motor, so we're thrilled about what's going on. My sister is Shamrock, Northern Sanitation, Pulsifer Logging, Carol Laidman from Laidman Lawn Care, Tommy Lorman, and we're ready. We're happier than ever,
Sound excited about the season. That's always good. Just the asphalt this year. I know you've gone out sometimes before and tried the dirt.
Me, asphalt. Yeah, we're stuck here, and that's what we're doing. I believe Patrick's going to do some dirt. We'll probably go with him. But we're going to stick to the asphalt. We're going to build another car, better car, faster car, and then we'll put this motor in it, and this will be a spare for the pair of us, and we're gonna go play.
Now this is a TO chassis. Your other chassis is a
Bicknell.
Bicknell. So a little difference there. Do you have a preference, one or the other?
No, this car is actually a 2001, so to buy a new car to come here is kind of a waste of money, but to each their own. You know, it's what you do under it, then
Exactly.
you do with it.
So last season, you had some ups, some downs.
A lot of downs.
A lot of downs.
A lot of downs.
Had some ups though.
Yep.
What was the highlight of your season last year?
We won 2 races. Nothing wrong with that. We came from 50 points behind to finish 5th in points, so we're happy with that, I guess.
Cool. Now, people might not know it, but you're also crew member for a certain individual, part-time, right? You go and help out once in a while.
Mike, yeah, Mike's a good guy.
Yeah.
I like helping Mike on Fridays. This year I'll probably be helping Pat if he goes to Frogtown on Fridays, as much as I can anyways. I'll go there with anybody.
Syracuse is a world all its own.
Yeah.
Not so much for the on-track, but the off-track, right?
Yeah, a little both.
Yeah. Going with Mike last year at the dirt car and years before, do you pick up stuff along the way?
Habit-wise, yeah. Mike has been racing a long time and has a specific way of doing things, and if you sit and watch, he's got a real good, specific way of doing things. He's very, when he does it himself, very meticulous, and I pick up stuff all the time. I'll watch you guys and pick up stuff from you. I pick up stuff everywhere I go, you know. It's one of those things.
Sit back, watch, be like a sponge,
Back,
absorb it all.
And hide and let them know you're watching.
So, one thing I'm going to ask everyone this year that I interview is to grade themselves, their strengths and their weaknesses. What's your strength on the track?
It used to be my frame of mind, but I think that went out the window last year. We'll be back to that this year. I'll be a little bit more confident again. Last year we didn't start the first race, so my confidence was kind of shot. We messed up instead of defending, we made a mess of ourselves. But we'll be back this year, and that's got to be a weakness of ours. Car, I mean, we used to finish races with the car falling apart. We always finished, and last year we didn't. So this year
Kind of caught up with you.
Yeah, it caught up.
It happens to everyone. You know, we've had seasons where we've been lucky and everything's gone our way. Then you have seasons where no matter what you do, no fault of your own, it goes against you. Now, I know one race that you were a rocket in. You were extremely fast. Was the August 6th race last year, the small block, big block shootout.
Yep.
And next thing you know, you were gone. What happened in that race?
We got in a wreck with somebody. We were lapping. I think we were running in 4th, coming from last, lapping like a 12th place car, and we got spun out, so we just parked it. So.
And
those things.
in your season, you were going good once again. The fall foliage.
Yep.
You finished off strong there.
Yep. We wrecked.
Yeah, but I mean, you might not get the finish you wanted, but you got you had the run you wanted. I mean,
Yeah, we were
you
fast.
you weren't able to finish it, but the car was good. You were going to the front.
Yeah, no, we always usually have a fast car. It's just a matter of trying to finish the race, which is definitely where we failed last year. But this year we'll fix that. We'll be there.
And the new track at Airborne, you're going to be at progressive banking.
Great. I think it's
It's
great.
going to be a lot faster, you think?
I think so.
I've
yeah.
heard floating around tonight low 15s for the modifieds.
Probably on fall foliage. I think it was the last race, the Sunday race. We qualified, of course, Saturday time trials. Patrick and I were both in the 15s, 15.9 something. Sunday morning, no rain, cool track. We were both down 15.6, 15.7, 15.6.
Yeah,
So,
I know we picked up about 3/10 from time trials on Sunday morning.
yep, to Sunday
So,
morning.
cool track would do that.
Oh, it was fast. It was quicker than it's ever been, and you're going to see that go down even more. It's going to be fast and fun.
What I'm really interested in with the track this year is 3 and 4. You know, that's kind of been something you get to the top, you can't really get to the corner. The banking's going to help guys. You should see a lot more side-by-side racing.
Yeah, we got around the top of 3 and 4, so I kind of liked it the way it was, but now everybody will be up there, so we'll have to share and see what happens.
Now, do you think it's going to change your setup a lot, the new track? I mean,
I
you
don't
have to
think so.
stiffen up maybe for the banking
I think
instead
you're
of.
looking at a couple pounds here and there, and that's about it, really. You're going to see some cars that didn't run well, that are going to run well because the track's going to fix their setup, and the rest of us will adjust to it. We'll be
Okay.
there. Just like you, we'll be there.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll catch up later on this season.
You betcha.
Rick.
Joining me now, one of the drivers in the new Mini Modified division. He was the 2007 track champion, 2008 runner-up. Rick Donor, what's in store for 2009?
Let's hope I finish in the top 5 like I usually say.
First off, there's been a lot of changes to your division.
Yep.
The track said they wanted to differentiate the cars between the Bombers and the old Warrior division, something more than a W and a B.
Right.
Tell us many of the changes you've had to go through your car to get it ready for this 2009 season.
Well, they want us to cut the front ends up, put sidebars on them, put the modified, kind of make them look like a modified, the front ends, but don't touch the back ends of the cars. That's basically the change that they wanted us to do.
That's going to open up the front wheels a little more. Do you see possibly leading to some wild wrecks with that change?
I don't know, because the front of the cars, it was just a plastic going around with as a sheet metal fender. It wasn't really a lot of protection to begin with. But the only thing I see is I see some of the cars, the front ends hang about 3 foot over the front tires. That might have a little issue, but I don't see it any worse than what it was.
There's going to be a lot of changes to the track this year. The banking is being beefed up, especially in turn 3 and 4. The banking is actually going to go as high as the current wall that's going down the front stretch. You're going to have a higher wall going down. Certainly probably going to lead to higher speeds.
Yeah, I was hoping, we can get 15 to 20 miles an hour faster. It's gonna be good racing, real good racing.
Your division featured some of the best finishes of the season all year long. You were involved in 2 or 3 of them, photo finishes at the line. Unfortunately for you, you lost both of them.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it was a good season in 2008 for you, coming off a championship season where you finished second, not too far off the title run.
Not too far off. I had 3 bad races. I blew a tire once, broke an axle on another. Butch, he only had 1 bad race. The luck was with him that year. Following year it was with me, so.
Unfortunately, for our opening for the 2009 season, you're going to be reminded every week of one of those bad races.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, I see that. They couldn't fit one of my photo finishes or something like that, but they had to give me the worst wreck I had. That was the worst wreck I ever been in. Yeah.
But it shows you how you took a huge hit coming off of turn 4. I think you got it on both ends.
Oh.
And it just shows how safe these cars are made that you came out of that wreck unscathed.
Yeah, they're structurally safe. They're way from the factory, they're designed to crush, and that's exactly what it did. I didn't have a front hoop in my car, which I think softened the impact, put the motor in the firewall, but I think it worked out pretty decent. I did a little bit of pulling, hooking a couple of trees, pulling out. It was good to go the following week.
A lot of good-looking cars out here, not just the Mini Modified division, but the Sportsman division, the Renegades, the Bombers as well. And you've had a lot to do with many of these cars out here. Tell us the cars that you've actually painted.
Well, I got Keith Pelkey's I painted for the Renegades. I got Scott's I painted for the Bombers. I got my car. I got my 2 nephews I'm going to be doing. I haven't did one of them yet. The other one is it's in process of doing right now, so.
You're sort of like the czar in the Ausable Clintonville area. When everybody needs help on the car, they come to see you.
Yeah, well, they come to me for the paint and stuff, to get the body works looking halfway decent. Which they help me out quite a bit too. When they go around and they help me when I need a hand, and I help them. It works both ways. I guess that's what a team's all about.
Off of the championship 2 years ago, second place last year, as we mentioned, you've got to be one of the favorites coming in to 2009. What are your goals as we get ready to start the season?
Well, hopefully to finish the first race. I didn't finish it last year. I broke an axle in the first race. If I get past that, everything's golden, I think. I get the bugs worked out of her.
All right, well, we wish you continued good luck in the 2009 season. The last few years have been great for you, and we hope it continues in 2009.
Oh, I hope so. Thank you.
That's Rick Donor. We'll be back with more Motorsports Magazine. Come the Warriors off turn 4, down the stretch, Degree is out. Another good start for McCormick, 17. He grabs the lead and heads the pack up the backstretch. Donor on the move in the 1 car as the 57 of Lemire is off the pace. Butch Lemire, 5-time winner in this division, slow up the backstretch. CJ LeVere in the number 4 on the move. He's got second. Dave Demore's got third as that Lemire 57 has now come to a halt, and then we'll bring out the caution flag. Demore, Kenny St. Germain, John Bradley, Mike Peretta, and the Denimore Dunce. That's the field. 1 down, 14 to go. We are back to green. McCormick leads the way, but here comes CJ LeVere looking to the inside. LeVere cannot get by. Now looking further deep into the corner. He will grab the lead through turn 3 into turn 4. McCormick now hung out to dry on the outside. They're coming by on the inside. The 86 of Demore is going to get the number 2 spot. Bobby LeVere now runs 4th. Justin Donor is 5th. Dustin Duval 6th. Billy Twaits is 7th. The 88 of Tom Santillo has come to a halt in the infield. He is far enough out of harm's way that will stay green. LeVere opens up 5 car lengths on Dave Demore. Bobby LeVere 3rd and moving in on that 86 car. We've seen the LeVere brothers battle it out at the front before. Will we see it one more time tonight if Bobby can take over that 2nd spot to try to run down his brother? Billy Twaits on the move. He looks inside the 12 of Dustin Duval. He will take that 4th spot away. Duval back to 5th. Justin Donor is 6th. Jeff McCormick and Jason Chris battle for that number 7 spot. Chris has 7th. And now Captain Thunder's going through on the inside. He'll take 8th. McCormick back to 9th. Matt Brusso is 10th. Terry Bichar runs 11th. 12th is Mike Peretta. 13th, Jimmy Collins. 14th is Kenny St. Germain. 15th is Kurt Demore. 16th is John Bradley. 17th is Andrew Bordeaux. In the meantime, we got a change for that number 2 spot. Bobby LeVere moves into 2nd. And Billy Twaits now takes 3rd as Demore is hung on the outside. Duval will take 4th. Justin Donor will now take 5th. Demore is back to 6th. CJ LeVere in the 4 has good distance on his brother. We'll see if Bobby can start to run him down. When they combine next time, they'll complete lap number 10. There'll be 5 to go. CJ LeVere with a commanding lead right now, and Bobby trying to do something about it. Bill Twaits is 2nd. Right now the best battle is for that number 4 spot. Duval in the 12, Donor in the 1, and Chris in the 35, and Captain Thunder in the 95. Now Billy Twaits heats up the battle for that 2nd spot once again. Twaits looking inside of Bobby LeVere. Neither one of them have gained any ground on CJ LeVere. He's still with a commanding lead. Twaits now looks outside LeVere as they head up the backstretch. He's on even terms. LeVere on the inside, Twaits on the outside. 2 to go for CJ LeVere. Great battle for that 2nd spot. Any one of 6 cars could end up with it. White flag will be out this time. Twaits all over the back bumper of Bobby Rivera as he's trying to fade away by into that second spot. He's got to worry about the 12 of Dustin Duval and the 1 of Justin Donor. Now Rick Donor taking a look outside of the 33 of Jason Chris. Look out, the 12 car has some problems on the backstretch, and Rick Donor is going to pick up 2 spots. There he is, your winner, C.J. Rivera in the 4. Second spot will go to Bobby Rivera. Billy Twaits gets 3rd. 4th to Jason Chris. Captain Thunder rounds out the top 5 in the 95.
All right, Rick. We're getting C.J. Rivera's car parked down here in Victory Lane. Win number 1, 2008 in the Warrior division. He's been pretty consistent really through the year in this number 4. And he'll enjoy tonight's victory, I'm sure. Here he is getting out of his car. CJ, come on over. How about a nice round of applause for CJ Rivera. Congratulations. You've been close. And finally, here it is for you. It's got to feel pretty good.
Oh, I'm still shaking, you know. We've been working all year and trying to get up front, and we've been close, you know, and it's hard. And we got Bobby's car up front, so we knew we could get this one up front eventually. You have to work on it, get it to handle. That's all it's about, handling. And we got 1-2 tonight, I think, so we did good. I'm happy, you know.
So they'll be celebrating in the Tri-Lakes. You were using up every inch of the racetrack. Coming off turn number 4, you were letting it hang out right to the wall, and that was really fast for you.
The only way around this track to win is on the outside. You set that car up there. It don't matter, even if you're in the lead or not, you stay there.
Well, congratulations. Enjoy this one. Nice job.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank my mom, my dad, my brother, everybody that helps me. We really don't have no sponsors, so it's kind of a family deal. And, of course, everybody here, all the fans, everybody, Mike, the guys that put on the show. It's awesome. We love it, and I hope it stays forever.
Back on Motorsports Magazine, joining us now is the 2008 Bomber Track Champion, something that you're not going to be able to defend this year because you're moving up to the Mini Modifieds. Randy Gilligan Martin is with us. He drives the car, also known as the SS Minnow, the number 77B. Randy, 2008 was a great season for you.
Yeah, it definitely was. Came into it unsure because 2 years before that I did race, didn't really do much, you know. 8th place seemed to be a good spot for me those past 2 years, and then started winning, and it was the car. I got the car, and it was set up when I got it, and it was unbelievable. Well, you showed last year whether you started toward the front or started toward the back, it really didn't matter. By the time the checkered flag was ready to fall, you were somewhere around the top 5, and usually a lot closer to 1 than 5. Yeah, like I said, experience is what helped me out, you know, learn how to handle the track, you know, and the change this year, going to 2009, you're moving up to the Warrior division, now known as the Mini Modified division. It's a division where there's been a lot of changes this year, so nobody really knows what to expect. First off, what changes have you had to make to your race car to get it ready for this new division? All I really did to mine was I cut the fenders down, and I put a modified style push bar on the front of it. We're allowed to cut our struts out and stuff. I didn't feel like going that far because my car handled, and I'm not that knowledgeable about like the geometry of the car and all that, so I didn't go too far into it. They're making a lot of changes to the racetrack as well this season. Added banking in 3 and 4 as well as 1 and 2. A lot more in 3 and 4. It's going to be as high as what the current wall is at the top of the turn 4. They're actually going to be making the front stretch wall a little bit higher. It's going to mean some increased speeds. How much faster do you think you're going to be going in this Mini Modified as opposed to the Bomber division? It's hard to tell with the new banking. I don't think anybody's going to be able to tell until they actually get out there. I don't know. I think it's going to make for 2 and 3 wide racing in the corners. I don't think everybody's going to keep trying to pinch down to the bottom groove. I don't think the bottom groove is going to be the preferred groove anymore. I think it's going to be changed up. It's going to be the second groove up might be preferred, and it might even be the third groove up. It's hard to say. There's no doubt you were the class of the field in the Bomber division last year. Who are some of the drivers you expect to have to battle to get to the front this year in the Mini Modifieds? There's quite a few good drivers. Rick Donor, obviously, he's track champion 2 years ago, second place last year. I mean, he's definitely going to be someone that I'm going to have a hard time keeping up to. Bush Lemire, last year's track champion, he ain't going to be there, so I really don't know. Like I said, a lot of guys there are very experienced. So I mean,
Have you set any goals for yourself going into the 2009 season?
yeah, I have. I'm trying for a top 10 in the end, and I think as long as I keep my car together every week, I think that'll be manageable. But I'm not expecting too much.
I'm sure a lot of fans know, some may not know, you're not only busy on the racing end of it, but you're quite the accomplished Demolition Derby driver in the summer.
Yes, I had a great season this year. 4 trophies at Clinton County, 4 at Westport. I won up at Frogtown, and it was a phenomenal year for Demolition Derby and racing. I'm not expecting nowhere near that next year. Pretty much, I consider it all luck, especially in the Derby.
One of the new improvements at Airborne Speedway this year is a new front stretch and turn 1 fence. The reason they need that, this guy put a boat through the turn 1 fence last year. Tell us actually what happened with that.
It was a trailer race, and I was, I don't know, I was just driving around slow for a while. I was waiting for the camper, because the year before that I drove through a camper, and I was waiting for the camper, and then I seen the boat opportunity, and I hit him full throttle. I must have been doing 70 miles an hour when I hit that boat.
Well, you certainly gave the fans in turn 1 a treat and a little bit of a scare. They got their money's worth that afternoon.
A lot of them were scared, definitely.
Who have you got helping you out sponsor-wise in 2009?
Bourgeois IGA from Keysville, he's a big sponsor. My boss from Morris Concrete Pumping is a big sponsor. Northern Car Crushers. Trips.org is a non-profit organization founded by my mother. She helps me out. And Rand Hill Painters, and I got a new sponsor this year, Lajway's Meat Market in Plattsburgh.
Always good to pick up new sponsors. That always helps, especially with drivers having a difficult time finding sponsors. It seems as though you've got a great list of people supporting you this year.
Well, I actually lost one and I gained one, so it evened out.
All right, we wish you good luck in the 2009 season. It's going to be tough to repeat as champion. You're going to be going up a lot tougher guys, but if there's anybody out there that can do it, we know you can. Good luck.
Thank you.
That's Randy Martin, driver in the Mini Modified division at Airborne Speedway.
Welcome back to Motorsports Magazine. We're joined now by a driver from the Versatile Trailer Sales Renegade division. He drives the number 9. Kenny Davies, you're back again for 2009.
We're going to try it again.
Talk about 2008. Pretty good division, a pretty good year for you. The division, as is always the case, it's just so close.
Oh, there's close racing in that.
And how'd 2008 go for you?
We finished 7th in the points. We were very pleased with our season. We had normal trouble, but overall we were very pleased.
Very close competition, as we said throughout. Some good drivers that are in that division. I think one of the things that always impresses us is how close the racing action is, and yet, at the end of the night, good camaraderie too within the group.
Oh, there is. That division is so close. Anybody needs anything in the pits, we're right there for one another, and it's a real nice division.
Now, 2009, I understand you've got a new car. Talk about what happened to the old car, and talk about what you've done for 2009 with the new car.
Last year, the car was hit pretty hard, and it came down that I needed a new car. So I was shopping around for a used Renegade and decided that I really wanted to learn how to build one. And I had Joe Gatto was very instrumental in talking me into building a new one. He was more than happy to teach me, and so we got a brand new car.
So this is a car that is largely your work along with Joe Gatto and perhaps a few others?
Correct. Well, basically Joe and I.
Okay.
I was in Joe's shop. I was basically doing it myself. And when I got stuck on problems, I would ask Joe and he would give me his advice.
So give us a time frame. When did you start the project? When did you finish it up?
We started the project in November, and we finished approximately the first week of March.
So overall, it's something that you kind of pecked away at over the course of the wintertime, but it's not something that you can just let sit there. Obviously, there are a lot of hours. How many hours do you figure you got into it?
Oh my goodness.
Too many to count?
Too many to count.
But, and how consistently were you working at it? Is it something that you did maybe every Sunday? Is it something that you put in an hour or two on a regular basis? Give us a time frame.
Okay, basically I worked on it 6 days a week.
Right through the winter?
Right through the
No
winter.
kidding.
6 days a week. I would take Sunday afternoons off.
Right. Wow.
Other than that, it was 6 days a week.
Now, if memory serves me right, you retired.
I am retired.
So you've got a little more time than maybe somebody else might have in their daily schedule to get some of that work done.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
So that helped certainly. And if I remember right, a retired corrections officer.
That is correct.
All right. So 2009, you've got the new car. The old one, did you end up just having to junk, take parts off of it? I know there was a pretty bad wreck that you had last year. And
basically, I left that car whole.
Okay.
Just in case I do need a backup car.
Right. And sometimes you do. I mean, you've had a couple of bad wrecks come to mind.
Right. One car was unrepairable.
Right.
And the car last year was repairable, and it actually did go better after we wrecked it.
But you're going to hang on to that one just in case.
Yes, I am.
You've got the bug bad, don't you? You've got this auto racing bug bad.
Real
And
bad.
you talked about Joe Gatto. I know Joe Daniels is somebody who worked with you last year, and you helped Joe out. And that's the camaraderie as well that we were talking about within the division. Everybody, at least in the area where you're parked, everybody seems to really help one another out.
Oh yeah, there's Joe Daniels, there's the Kilborns,
Yeah.
Cody Kilborn,
Yeah.
and that crew. We're the H2, Rob Gordon, all those guys, the Radtoy brothers, they're all good. If you need something, go see them, they got it.
Now, what do you hear about the division for 2009 in terms of some of your competition? A lot of those guys coming back. Any new names that you've heard about?
I have heard of new names, Chris Garrett, the young fella, Josh Terry.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Josh has moved up. There are some others as well, but how about guys from last year?
As far as I know, the only one really not coming back is Mike Chris
Yeah.
and Brian Rogers.
Okay. So a lot
all
of,
I've heard.
and we hear then a lot of those other guys should be back. So it looks like we could expect another pretty full field of Renegades through the year.
Oh, I expect a full field.
Well, that'll be
If not
good.
More than last year.
We were talking earlier with Mike Perotti on one of our shows, and we were both talking about how there's a lot to like about almost every division. And in the Renegade class, it's the level competition, the level playing field, the cars being very close, and also the side-by-side racing that you see, which in some other divisions they get side-by-side, and next thing you know, a car's bent in half. But in your division, more often than not, I know you've had a mishap or two, but more often than not, you can run side-by-side with somebody, and you're not going to have to be too worried about your car getting all torn up.
Right. I'm not saying we're the best division, but like you said, side-by-side racing is a norm in our division.
And with the progressive banking coming in, that might make for even more.
I believe it will. I truly believe it'll open up the outside for guys that couldn't get there before.
Who you got helping you out this year on the car? I know with the economic times it's tough, but anybody that you want to plug on the side of your car?
I picked up a new sponsor this year. They're called AVM Security.
And they'll be very happy that you just mentioned them on television.
And coming back with me again this year is the 7-Eleven Mini Mart from Saranac. And also, of course, Big Joe Tax Service has been with me since the beginning.
Big Joe's busy this time of year, isn't he?
Big Joe is good, but he always says he can smell a refund.
Well, hopefully we will smell victories for you in 2009. You're always accessible to us, and whenever we ask you to come up and talk to us, you're always willing to do that. We appreciate that, and we wish you good luck.
Well, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to 2009.
All right, that's Kenny Davies, everybody. More Motorsports Magazine coming up.
The 24 for Keith Pelkey, the 56 for Scott Benware, and the 102 for Mike Carson, and Brian Pugh, the 29 New York. That's the field. We're under green, off 2 down the backstretch. Rick Hart on board the Deuce, leading him off turn number 4 to lead lap number 1. Hard leading by 4 car lengths over Cody Kilburn. Running side by side for the 5th position. Randy Ledoux in the 47. Robert Gordon in the H2O as they race through the sunshine off turn number 4. Hart, Kilburn, Rogers, Kenny Davies in a 9 is 4th. Looking to move to the inside. Here comes Dave Raptoy. Lance Raptoy on the move. 3 wide into turn 3. Lance Raptoy on the inside. Contact. Robert Gordon, the meat and the sandwich. They make it work. Rick Hart's the leader. Cody Kilburn's running second. Kenny Davies still third. Here comes Dave Raptoy. He's got his brother Lance pushing him on the back bumper through towards the front. Lance Raptoy trying to take fourth away from Brian Rogers. Rogers stuck on the outside, back to fifth. The Raptoy brothers are into the top five. Dave is fourth. Lance is fifth. Here comes Randy Ledoux in the 47. Randy Ledoux moving to the inside of Brian Rogers to take the sixth spot. Rogers all the way back to seventh. Still stuck on the outside. Point leader, Little Joe Daniels, trying to make his way through the field. Diving down to the inside of Dan Dubuque. He's running back around the 15th or 16th spot. 5 laps complete for leader Rick Hart. Now make it 6. Davies second, Kilburn third. Dave Raptoy is fourth. Lance Raptoy is fifth. Randy Ledoux putting a charge on the 47 is sixth. 7th is Josh Allen. 8th is Brian Rogers. 9th, H2O for Robert Gordon. 10th is Chris Frenier. 11th is Lonnie Rivers. 12th is Keith O'Neill. 13th is Nick Haywood. 14th is Little Joe Daniels. 3 wide for 15th. Mike Chris on the outside had the 15th spot in the Budweiser number 8. Rick Hart puts a lap on Mark Caron. Kenny Davies about to do the same. Heavy traffic as they race in 2 big packs. One pack has cars 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cars 2 through 7. And then another big pack where they're dicing for spots 8 through 15. Joe Daniels in that pack, working the rim. Lonnie Rivers working through the middle. Brian Rogers hanging on to the number 12. Chris Frenier in the 93, trailing a little sheet metal on the right side of the Days Inn and Suites 93 car. Jason Sawyer off the pace in the 28. Overheating on his car. First time out for Sawyer. He is headed back to the pits. Black flag out for Chris Frenier. Unfortunate break for Frenier. Right side sheet metal dragging on that car. The Benware 56 is headed back to the garage. Rick Hart and the Deuce continues to show the way. He's got a 7 car length advantage over Kenny Davies. Then it's 9 car lengths back to Cody Kilburn. Dave Raptoy stuck in the 4th spot. Lance Raptoy stuck in 5th, halfway. Halfway for the Renegades tonight. Joe Daniels has worked his way past Lonnie Rivers. He is now running in about the 8th spot. A point leader, Daniels, charging to the front. He is racing for 8th right now. Nick Haywood sideways off 2. Several of the cars sliding it through turns 1 and 2. But not Rick Hart. Rick Hart is hooked up tonight in that number 2. He is flying out front. 10 laps to go this time by for the Blue Deuce. Rick Hart with 10 to go. Kenny Davies trying to keep Rick Hart in sight. Rick Hart's got a clean racetrack in front of him. Half a track before he runs up on slower cars again, so he's got a lot of clean asphalt in front. And right now the Deuce is hauling the mail and Davies is trying to chase him down. He's cut into the lead a little bit, but laps are winding down. Dave Raptoy has moved to 3rd. Lance Raptoy trying to get forward. 4 wide into turn number 4. Cody Kilburn on the inside. Lance Raptoy in the middle. Randy Ledoux working on the outside. Lance Raptoy at 4th. Randy Ledoux up to 5th. Here comes comes Dave Raptoy to third. Lance trying to get to fourth. Randy Ledoux going with him. Ledoux running fifth. Cody Kilburn is sixth. Joe Daniels putting on a show, working on the outside. Josh Allen also running with that group. Now Lance Raptoy looks to the inside of his brother down the backstretch. Dave in the 21, Lance in the 11, racing for the third spot. Rick Hart, Kenny Davies, Dave Raptoy, Lance Raptoy, Randy Ledoux, Joe Daniels now into the top five, trying to take fifth away. Boy, this is a great drive by Joe Daniels, trying to get to that fifth position. 5 to go for Rick Hart. Side by side running for the fifth position. Give fifth to Joe Daniels. Sixth, Randy Ledoux. Seventh, Cody Kilburn. Eighth is Josh Allen. Robert Gordon is ninth. Nick Haywood is 10th. 11th is Keith O'Neill. 12th is Lonnie Rivers. 13th, Mike Chris. Keith Pelkey is 14th. Joe Warren is 15th. Laps are winding down. Rick Hart with a comfortable lead. He predicted on OutsideGroove.com that he'd get a win soon. That soon might be in about 3 minutes. 22 laps are complete. The Deuce is into turn number 4, coming down the front stretch. Popsicle sticks are out, 2 laps to go for Rick Hart. Dave Raptoy still running third. Lance is running in that 4th spot. Here comes your leader off turn number 4, working very carefully off the 4th turn, white flag. 1 lap to go for the Deuce. He's got a big lead out front. Drives it high off turn number 2. Down the backstretch into turn number 3. Keeps it down to the inside. Here comes Rick Hart for his first win of 2008. Rick Hart's the winner. Second, Kenny Davies. Third, Dave Raptoy. Lance Raptoy 4th. 5th to Joe Daniels. 6th, Randy Ledoux. Almost even between Cody Kilburn and Josh Allen for 7th and 8th. Then 9th to the H2O Robert Gordon. 10th to Nick Haywood. But win number 1 of 2008 for the Blue Deuce out of Keysville. Rick Hart gets his first win of the year.
How about a nice round of applause for Dave Raptoy? He hops out of the Island Excavating number 21 for a 3rd place finish. Great to see Kenny Davies back in victory lane. Kenny finishes 2nd tonight in the Big Joe's Tax Service number 9. And about to hop out of the Deuce, it's Rick Hart. Let's throw it downstairs to Rob Knowles. Rob?
Okay, Rick, we'll get a word with Rick Hart in just a second. Getting out of his car now. Give a nice round of applause, everybody. Rick Hart in the Deuce, his first win of 2008. Rick, come on over. Somebody asked you online when you're going to get your first win, and you said it's coming. Tonight's the night. Congratulations.
Thanks very much. I really don't know who that is, but there it is, the win tonight.
Well, you were able to start near the front. You worked your way to the lead very quickly, and then maintained a very healthy lead for most of the event. Good 6 or 7 car lengths over Kenny.
We just moved a little weight around and things, got it to handle a little better, and here we are.
So you think you found something?
I hope so.
Well, you found something, and it will stick for you. Congratulations. Nice job on your first win.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Rick Hart, again, give a nice round of applause. It's his first win of 2008 on board the...
Hi, I'm Dan Dubuque, driver of the Miller Lite East Pit Stop, Ford Thunderbird. You're watching Motorsports Magazine on Hometown.
Joining us now, one of the drivers from the Bomber Division at Plattsburgh's Airborne Speedway on the preview show. He's known at the track as the Grape Ape. He's from Rouse's Point, New York, Scott Richner. Scott, nice to have you with us.
Thanks for having me on.
Certainly a lot of good-looking cars as we start the 2009 season here at Airborne Speedway.
That's the best part of the show, smelling all the fresh paint.
And one of the good-looking cars is your number 21, a completely new paint scheme, the green and purple. more fluorescent type purple and fluorescent type green than last year. And tell us about your help with the car to get it ready for 2009.
Well, we spent 3 weekends on it. Rick Donor painted it for me, and I didn't really have too much to do with the paint. He did all that, but I haven't really done anything else to it besides the paint yet.
Have you had to replace any major body panels or anything? I know toward the middle of last season you were involved in a couple of mishaps.
Yes, I had to replace both bumpers, the hood, the driver's door, and the driver's rear quarter panel.
I think it would be fair to say that at the beginning of 2008 you struggled a bit. But you're one of the drivers in that division who really picked things up toward the end of the season. Picked up, 2 or 3 heat race wins, were running good. You were headed toward a top 5 finish in the main event to end the season, and actually I think you were running in the top 3 for most of that race. So things really picked up as the season went on for you.
The biggest thing was trying to get the car set up. Rick Donor helped a lot with that too. He set up my car the same as his car, and well, if anyone's seen his car run, you'll understand why I started doing a lot better.
Talking about Rick Donor, he's one of the mini modified drivers. A big change for 2009 at Airborne. Bombers stay the same. A lot of people would switch from a Bomber to a Warrior and go back and forth. This year the Warriors, now renamed the mini modifieds, completely different. And a lot of changes. Those cars don't look anything alike anymore.
No, they're definitely a lot different. There's a lot of different designs, and it's going to be interesting how it plays out.
Who have you got helping you out sponsorship-wise in 2009?
This year I've got pretty much the same sponsors. I got Bushy's Auto Repair, Morse Fork Sheet Metal, Patriot Pub, and Ducks Auto Parts helping me out.
Crew Chief Sam on board once again to provide the cupcakes and brownies?
Yes, she is the food sponsor for the Grape 8.
What are your goals as we start the 2009 season?
Right now, I'd like to just finish every race. Last year I had, a couple problems, and I actually had to borrow Warrior cars to go out and take one lap and just get the 20 points. But I'd like to finish every race with my own car this year.
Having to do that, it got you last place points, and you just nearly missed a podium finish where you would have been making an appearance at the year-end banquet, picking up a nice trophy. I think you've been, 16th, and they paid trophies, so they were paid the top 15?
Top 15. I missed 15th place by, I think, 4 points.
That's just 2 spots in the standings, so that had to be a difficult pill to take, especially as well as you were running in that last race and to lose a few spots at the end.
Yeah, that was, the car just wouldn't want to handle the last 5 laps, and I just lost a couple spots, but there's always this year.
Who do you look at as your main competitors to pick up a title in 2009? Of course, the defending champion coming in, Gilligan, Randy Martin, who was very tough in that 77 car.
I'd say the competitors this year, the main contenders will be Kurt Seymour, Josh Laporte, Josh Leclerc. Pretty much everybody that's in the top 5 last year in points will be back this year besides Gilligan. So I think that those will be the main contenders.
Well, of course, with Gilligan moving up, being forced to move up into to the mini modifieds, that eliminates the 2008 champion from contention and opens it up to a lot of drivers to pick up their first truck championship. And I think this guy is one of them that's got a good chance. Scott Richner, thanks for joining us. We wish you good luck in the 2009 season.
Thank you very much.
5 for Cody Myers. We'll get to the rest when we can. Green flag. Randy Martin in the 77 starting from deep in the pack, quickly trying to charge to the front as they're 3 wide down the backstretch. Wade Whitney moving up in the 24. Josh Leclerc, the meat and the sandwich in the number 7, drifting up into the 4th turn as they're 3 wide off 4. Out front is Jason Blondo with the number 5, running in the 2nd position. It's the 43 for Josh Terry. Here comes Brock Begor. Begor's on his way to 3rd, moving to the inside of the Drake 05. Give Begor the 3rd spot. Bird Drake back to position number 4. Running in 5th is April Bordeaux. Out front, Jason Blondo. Blondo's going to have to work around a couple of slower cars that have had trouble here in the early going. One of them is Kurt Seymour in the 357. Blondo moves to the outside. We got a car up in the turn 4 well. And Malcolm Woodward spinning over in turn number 2, coming back down the track. Everybody avoids the prone Woodward car. And that's going to bring out the first yellow to slow the pace here in the Bomber feature event. One of the fastest cars in the division, Randy Martin, right now sits in the 12th spot on the outside of row number 6. Here comes the field off for green flag. Blondo drifts up the track off turn number 2. A lot of cars shooting up the track off 2. One car on the move is April Bordeaux. Bordeaux is going to go from 5th to 3rd. 3 wide into turn 3. 4 wide into turn 3. They're shuffling for position. Gilligan on the move in the 77. Martin picked up 5 spots. He went from 12th to 7th in 1 lap. And now he's on the move again. He's up to 6th. We got a new leader out front. Brock Begor has moved around Jason Blondo. Begor to the point. He's got the lead. Brock Begor by 3 car lengths over Jason Blondo. April Bordeaux coming after Blondo for that second position. 5 laps are complete. Begor the leader, and he's got a pretty sizable cushion over Blondo in second. Some fast cars trying to scream towards the front. One of them is Martin. Randy Martin trying to get into the 4th spot. Moving down to the inside. Here comes Randy Martin. Give him 4th, taking it away from Josh Laporte. So now it's Brock Begor, Jason Blondo, April Bordeaux, Randy Martin. Blondo drifted high up turn number 2. We got a car down in the infield to the exit of 4. That's Josh Blake in the 25. We stay under green. Here comes Martin picking up 2 spots. Don't look now, but Randy Martin's going after it. Randy Martin for second. He'll take second away from Jason Blondo. Brock Begor, the leader, working on some slower traffic, and Randy Martin is running him down. We got a spinner over at turn number 2. Down into the infield, right in front of the leader. But he keeps it down in the infield. That was Justin Hathaway. We stay under green. Begor, the leader, is working into turn number 4. Randy Martin is slowly chasing him down. Does he have enough time? I don't know, with only 5 to go. 5 laps remain for Brock Begor. Randy Martin dicing through slower traffic around the Miller 66 on the outside. Then he'll have to deal with the number 3 on the front stretch. Look out, there goes Miller down to the infield, sliding and slowly rolling over onto the roof. And that'll bring out a red flag. All right, ready for a restart. 11 complete. Remember, 15 is the distance for the Monster Energy Drink Bombers. As they come off of turn number 4 down the front stretch, green flag. Randy Martin trying to make it go from the outside. Brock Begor on the inside. Martin sticks the nose out in front down the backstretch. Look out, we got cars headed up towards the billboards along the backstretch. Bert Drake is there, the 3 is there, and everybody else appears to keep on rolling though. The 8 might have been involved as well. Randy Martin has completed the pass. He's showing away in the 77. Number 8 of Paul Baker has come to a near stop up in turn number 3, and that's going to bring out another yellow. Down the front stretch, green flag. Randy Martin Martin, a 2-car length advantage over Brock Begor. Then the Laporte 45, 3-car lengths behind Begor as they race into turn number 4. Here comes the field off 4 with a white flag displayed, a white flag. 1 to go. We got cars spinning up in turn number 4. Couple of 1 car facing the wrong way. Now he'll get it righted. We're going to stay under green. Here come the leaders. They'll tiptoe through 3 and 4. And tiptoeing to the checkered line, it's going to be Randy Martin. Win number 4. Begor second. Laporte third. Whitney fourth. Look like Bordeaux and Bishaw dead even for that 5th spot as they cross the line. Randy Martin picking up another win here in 2008.
All right. I got to hustle tonight. Here is Randy Martin, win number 4. Randy, you started a little deeper in the pack. Talk about moving through some of the slower traffic on your way to the front. That was pretty tough.
Yeah, it's always.
Oh, come on down this way. Okay. Go ahead.
It's always rough coming from the back. I want to thank Rick Donor for helping me with the setup of the tires. It really helped it hook up on the outside, inside, wherever I went. I want to thank all my sponsors, Washland, Bourgeois, IGA, Morse Concrete Pumping, and everybody else. So just like to say thanks.
4 wins, buddy. You're starting to kick butt.
Thank you very much.
Nice job again by Randy Martin. 4th win.
Hi, I'm April Bordeaux, driver of the 23 Bombers, sponsored by Vacuum City. You're watching Motorsports Magazine on Hometown.
Back on Motorsports Magazine, joined again by Mike Perotti. And Mike, last week on the show we talked about some of the changes to the racetrack, the promotional aspect of your job, setting up the schedule for 2009. This week, let's focus on the 3 other divisions that we have at the Speedway. We'll start first with the Renegades. And I'll tell you, when I think of the Renegades, I think of very close competition. A division that sometimes doesn't get the credit it deserves because it is very close competition and very exciting to watch.
You know, it's hard for me to have a favorite division. I really do like them all because they provide great racing, but I always, you know, that Renegade division is where I started. You know, it's where a lot of us started. We didn't have 4 cylinders back when I started. V8 Chevys, you know, and 57 Chevy bodies or things of that nature, bodies like that. But you know, that's where it all started for me, and I really like that division. And apparently, you know, the racers do too, and the fans. The division grew. At the end of the year, we had 27 cars at our last race, so that was great. But it does. It's great racing. It's affordable, sort of affordable as can be for racing. But.
And I'm hearing the numbers may be up again in 2009. Some other drivers, some other cars that are moving into the division.
I hear that. You know, to tell you the truth, I haven't sat down and looked at exactly our roster because it's not complete at this time. But I know that I don't know of many guys that have gotten out, but I do know of other guys that have got in. So we're hoping that it's up again this year.
All right. So we'll look for the Renegade division to put on their normal exciting program each and every Saturday night. All right, now let's talk about what used to be the Warrior division, now the Mini Mods, and I think over the off season, no division has gone through as many changes, at least to the car itself, as the Mini Mods, although the changes, I guess, are all on the front of the automobile. Talk about the decision that went into making some of the changes to what are now the Mini Mods.
Well, we have, the Mini Mods were the Warriors and the Bombers, which are identical cars, the only difference being experience in driving. So we wanted to spice it up a little bit and have some distinction between the 2 classes for the fans, you know. So we just decided to let them modify the fronts of the cars, seeing that modifieds is our main division here, and call them Mini Modified. So basically they can take the front ends off, front fenders off and hoods off, and then make their own, whatever. It's not something that costs a lot of money. We didn't want to make them incur more cost, but we wanted to let them get a little more creative and have a little fun with the division.
And it really distinguishes now, whereas last year there was very little other than a B or a W on the side of the car to distinguish between the then Warriors and Bombers. Now it's going to be easy to tell the difference between the two of them with the old cow catcher on the front.
Exactly. You know, I think they look cool. You know, they look really neat, and I'm glad we did it. I hope the fans like it, and I know all the racers that have done it really like it, and I think they do like the ability to tell them from the Bombers.
And as far as close finishes, there was probably no division that had tighter finishes last year right at the start-finish line than that Warrior class, now the Mini-Mods.
Yeah, I can remember. I'm not sure if it was the Bombers or the Mini-Mods, but we had a couple of finishes a couple of weeks in a row that were
Yes.
like 3 cars wide going across the start-finish line.
Yeah, I think it was the Warrior class last year.
They put on a great show, you know.
Yep. And now let's talk about the Bombers, and I think that division surprised me the most last year just in sheer turnout, and that has to be a great sign for you as a track promoter, because that is it's kind of like your beginner division. It is your beginner division. And when you see numbers strong there, those drivers, they get the bug, they get experience, and they're drivers that hopefully will stick with you and maybe move up in their racing careers up that ladder of the different divisions that you have. Talk about the Bomber class last year, really strong in numbers.
It was, you know, I mean, it was like in the mid-20s most of the time, and you're right. Those guys, they get in, they see if they like it, they have a good time, and they move up. You know, they don't stay there. They can only stay there for 3 years. So it is a beginner's class. It's a chance for you to race against guys with your own level of experience, and then move up to the bigger divisions.
The Bomber division last year as well, just by their sheer numbers, and then you add in some of the inexperience, and it makes for a lot of fun. I mean, let's face it, you got guys that are out there it's their first year in auto racing or their second year in auto racing, and if you put almost 30 of them out on the track, which we did on most Saturday nights, you get some bumping and banging and 4 wide and 5 wide sometimes, and it is pretty exciting, even in that it's the lowest division that we have at the racetrack, but still very exciting when you take into consideration all those factors.
It's a whole different deal, you know. The modifieds are exciting in their own way. Every division has their niche, you know, and you know the modifieds are fast and loud and really exciting. But the 4 cylinders, it's like, although not a clown class, but a class where the guys are running wide open all the time.
Yes.
It provides a lot of excitement, a lot of rollovers, you know, more than their fair share of wrecks. You know, just very entertaining and a lot of fun.
Yeah, and one thing that we should also make, and we're talking about the Bombers and the Mini Modified division. There's a lot of respect for all those drivers as well when you consider they're putting in a lot of time on their cars. And you talk about how last year with some of our worst wrecks were in those 4-cylinder classes. We saw drivers total their car one week and then back the next week with another automobile ready to go. Countless number of hours put into those automobiles as well. So there is a lot of respect and appreciation, even though they're perhaps younger, they're not throwing thousands and thousands of dollars into their cars perhaps, they're putting in enough, and they're putting in a lot of time as well. So I know we really respect those two divisions.
I do. I mean, a lot of classes treat those lower divisions as not equal, you know, and you're right, they spend what they can spend and they put in as much time as they can, and I don't by any means, they're just as vital to our existence as anything. And I treat them, you know, we tech them the same way we do the modifieds or their divisions, and I don't take them for granted at all. In fact, we've got, you know, several specials for them. We've got a few different things we're working on right now for them. You know, I focus a lot on the 4-cylinder guys. They put in as much effort and hard work and time as anybody.
And if somebody were interested in that division, the key for them would be to contact the Airborne office, either perhaps through email or by phone?
Exactly. Sure.
Well, 2009 season isn't that far away, and the excitement is certainly building. We can't wait to see some of the changes at the racetrack itself. And we know the response to our auto racing show, both online and as well as over the various cable networks in upstate New York, very, very positive. And again, you sense the momentum that the track has. We wish you the best of luck in 2009, and we're looking forward to some more exciting things.
Thanks for having me.
That's Mike Perotti, everybody. Stay tuned. More Motorsports Magazine is coming right up.
That clown thing, I didn't throw nothing on.
That's going to wrap up our preview show from the Airborne Speedway, Part 1. Part 2 will be coming up a little bit later on. We invite you to stay with us on Plattsburgh.com and the Hometown Cable Network. Rob, some interesting thoughts from George Foley talking about his 2009 season. Decided to come back from racing after considering retiring after that 2008 season.
Well, when we last talked to him at the end of the 2008 season, that was the plan for George. He didn't expect that he'd be able to come back full time, but he's got some help for 2009, and I think that certainly will be a big boost to the Airborne Speedway. George, always one of the most popular drivers, and we know a former track champion, so a guy that can certainly get things done on the Airborne Speedway, and good to see George back in the modified.
Thanks to Rob Lowell for his work with Crowbar's Corner. We hope to have Rob with us throughout the 2009 season here on MSM, as well as some good action from the 3 support divisions at Airborne. The mini modifieds, as they're called now, they were the Warriors in 2008, the Bombers, and the Renegades. Always some great tight racing action in those divisions.
Well, a changed look this year for the what used to be called Warriors. You saw a Warrior feature from last year, but they put the cow catchers on the front, Rick. They're now calling them mini modifieds, and I think one thing that we've seen here at the car show as well is that there's been some liberties with the front of those cars, and we've seen some cars that kind of take on the appearance of a modified on the front, and then others that have kind of just added a cow catcher to the front of the bumper. So that'll be a unique division, and they always put on a good show. The numbers were down a little bit last year. Hopefully we'll see those numbers bounce back up into the middle 20s on a regular basis.
All right, we invite you to stay tuned in the upcoming weeks for part 2 of our preview show, where we'll focus in on the modifieds and the sportsmen. From the Crate Center in Plattsburgh, for Rob Knowles, I'm Rick Knowles. Until the next time, have a good night, everybody.